7. Getting to know plants. Go outside and observe all the plants around you. Figure. Do you see that some plants are small, some very big, while some are just patches of green on the soil? Some have green leaves, while some others have reddish ones. Some have huge red flowers, some have tiny blue ones, while some have none. We do see a variety of plants existing all around us, near our homes, in the school ground, on the way to. Figure. Parts of a plant. The school in the parks and grounds, is not it? Let us get to know the different parts of any plant. This will help us. Figure. A nature walk. Understand and the differences between plants of different kinds. Can you label the stem, branch, root, leaf, flower and fruit of the plant shown in figure? Color the parts of the plant. 7.1 Herbs, shrubs and trees. Activity 1. Do this. Look closely at the stem and branches of 1. Plants much smaller than you. 2. Plants that are about your size. And 3. Plants which are much taller than you. Feel their stem and try to bend them gently to see if they are tender or hard. Table. Categories of plant. Plant name. Column 1 height, column 2 stem, column 3 where do the branches appear, column 4 green, tender, thick, hard at the base of the stem, higher up on the stem, category of plant. Tomato, short, yes, yes, herb. Mango, very tall, yes, 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 tree. Lemon, about my height, hard, yes, at the base of the stem, yes, category of plant, shrub. Take care that the stem does not break. Hug the tall plants to see how thick their stems are. We also need to notice from where the branches grow in some plants, close to the ground or higher up on the stem. We will now group all the plants we observe in table. Some examples are shown. You can fill the columns. 1. Suggestion. Student can work in groups of 4 to 5 so that a minimum number of plants are harmed or damaged. You may also use weeds with soft stem for the activities. Do you know what weeds are? In crop fields, lawns or in pots, often some unwanted plants or weeds start growing. Have you seen farmers removing these weeds from their fields? 2 and 3 for many more plants. Fill column 4 later after studying the section. Based on these characters, most plants can be classified into 3 categories: herbs, shrubs, and trees. An example of each is shown in figure. Figure A, B, C. A herb, B shrub, and C tree. Plants with green and tender stems are called herb. They are usually short and may not have many branches. Figure A. Some plants develop branches near the base of stem. The stem is hard but not very thick. Such plants are called shrubs. Figure B. Some plants are very tall and have hard and thick stem. The stems have branches in the upper part, much above the ground. Such plants are called trees. Figure C. Based on the above characteristics, can you now classify the plants listed by you and complete column 4 in table? Paheli wonders what kind of stem the money plant, beanstalk, gourd plant, and grapevines have. Do you observe some of these plants? How are these different from a herb, a shrub, or a tree? Why do you think some of them need support to climb upwards? Plants with weak stems that cannot stand upright but spread on the ground are called creepers. Figure. While those that take support and climb up are called climbers. Figure. These are different from the herbs, shrubs, and trees. Perhaps there are some plants in your school or at home that you take care of. Write down the names of any. Figure creepers, figure climbers. Two trees, shrub, herbs, or creeper growing in your house or school. 7.2 Stem. Observe closely the stems of different plants around you. Note down different structure or parts borne by the stem. Compare your observation with that of your friends. What do you find? Stems bear leaves, branches, buds, flowers, and fruits. Activity 2. Do this. We would require a glass of water, red or blue ink, and a soft stem. Pour water to fill 1/3 of the glass. Add a few drops of red or blue ink to the water. Cut the base of the stem and put it in the glass as shown in figure. Observe the setup. Does the color appear in the stem? You will find that the color rises in the stem. If this is kept for a longer period, the color figure stem in a glass with colored water appears in the veins of leaves also. How do you think the color reached there? From the activity we see that the stem helps in upward movement of water. The water and minerals go to leaves and other plant parts attached to the stem. Figure A. Water moves up the stem and reaches leaves. B. Enlarged view of open end of stem. 7.3 Leaf. Observe the leaves of some plants around you and draw them in your notebook. Are all the leaves of same size? Notebook. Are all the leaves of same size, shape, and color? How are leaves attached to the stem? The part of leaf by which it is attached to the stem is called petiole. The broad green part of the leaf is called lamina. Figure. Can you identify this part of the leaves in plants around you? Do all the leaves have petioles? Figure a leaf, lamina, petiole, stem. Let us get to know the leaf better by taking its impression. If you thought that leaves cannot shine, here is an activity which will make you think again. Activity 3. Do this. Put a leaf under a white sheet of paper or a sheet in your notebook. Hold it in place as shown in figure. Hold your pencil tip sideways and rub it on the portion of the paper having the leaf below it. Did you get an impression with some lines in it? Are they similar to those on the leaf? These lines on the leaf are called veins. Do you see a prominent line in the middle of the leaf? This is called the midrib. The design made by veins in a leaf is called the leaf venation. If this design is net-like on both sides of midrib, the venation is reticulate. Figure A. Figure taking an impression of a leaf. In the leaves of grass you might have seen that the veins are parallel to one another. This is panel Venation. Parallel venation. Figure B. Observe the venation in as many leaves as you can without removing them from the plant. Draw the pattern and write. Midrib veins A, B. Figure leaf venation A reticulate and B parallel. Names of some plants having reticulate and parallel venation. Shall we now find out some of the functions of a leaf? Activity 4. We will require a harp to transparent polythene bags and thread. Do this activity during daytime on a sunny day. Use a healthy, well-watered plant that has been growing in the sun. Enclose a leafy branch of the plant in a polythene cover and tie up its mouth as shown in figure. Tie up the mouth of another empty polythene cover and keep it also in the sun. After a few hours, observe the inner surface of the cover. What do you see? Are there any droplets of water? How do you think they got there? Don't forget to remove the polythene bag after the activity. Water comes out of leaves in the form of vapor by a process called transpiration. Plants release a lot of water into the air through this process. We will learn more about this in chapter 40. Why did we tie a cover around the leaves? Would we have seen the water? Transparent polythene cover or bag. Figure what does the leaf do? Evaporate if we had not tied a polythene cover. What makes the water appear on the polythene bag? In chapter 5, we noticed water changing into different forms in some of our activities. Can you think of this and name the process that makes water drops appear on the polythene cover? Leaves also have another function. Let us study this. Activity 5. Do this. We would require a leaf spirit, a beaker, test tube, burner, water, a watch glass, and iodine solution for this activity. Take a leaf in a test tube and pour spirit to completely immerse the leaf. Green leaf, iodine solution, purplish colored leaf. Figure, what does the leaf contain? Note, since the activity involves the use of spirit and heating, it is advised that it is demonstrated by the teacher in the class. Now, place the test tube in a beaker half filled with water. Heat the beaker till all the green color from the leaf comes out into the spirit in the test tube. Take out the leaf carefully and wash it in water. Place it on a watch glass and pour some iodine solution over it. Figure. What do you observe? Compare your observation with those done in chapter 2. When you tested food for presence of different nutrients, does this mean that the leaf has starch in it? In chapter 2, we saw that a slice of raw potato also shows the presence of starch. Potatoes get the starch from their leaves and store it. Leaves prepare their food in the presence of sunlight and green colored substance present in them. For this, they also use water and carbon dioxide. This process is called photosynthesis. Oxygen is given out in this process. The food prepared by leaves ultimately gets stored in different parts of plant. We have seen that the stem supplies leaf with water. The leaf uses the water to make food. The leaves also lose water through transpiration. How do the stem and leaves get water? This is where the roots come in. (7.4) Root. Look at figure. Who do you think is watering their plant correctly? Pahli or Bojo? Why? Watering the plants. Which part of the plant is in the soil? Let us learn more about this part from the following activities. Activity 6. Do this. You would require 2 pots, some soil, khurpi for digging, blade or a pair of scissors and water. This activity is to be done in a group of 4 to 5 students. Select 2 plants of the same kind from an open ground and dig them out with roots. Take care that their roots do not break. Plant one of them in pot A, figure A. Cut off the roots from the figure A plant with roots and B without roots. Other plant and plant it in pot B. Figure B. Water them regularly. Observe the plants after a week. Are both plants healthy? Both the plants are watered regularly, but one is without roots, is not it? Does this activity help you understand an important function of the root? Let us do an activity to study another function of root. Activity 7. We would require seeds of gram and maize, cotton wool, katori bowl and some water. Take 2 katoris bowl, place some wet cotton in them. Put 3 or 4 seeds of gram in one and maize in the other. Keep the cotton wet by sprinkling water every day until the sprout have grown into young plants. After a week, try to separate the young plants from the cotton. Figure young plants grown on cotton. Was it easy to separate the cotton from the roots? Why? In activity 6, we could not pull out the plants from the soil, right? We dug them out. This is because roots help in holding the plants firmly to the soil. They anchor the plant to the soil. You have seen that there are different kinds of stems and leaves. Do the roots also show a variety? Let us find out. Activity 8. Do this. Study figure A and B carefully. Now look at the roots of the gram plants you have pulled out from the cotton in the previous activity. Do they look like the roots shown in figure A or those in figure B? How about the roots of A, B? Figure A roots of dash. Comment this. B roots of dash. Comment this. Maize plant. Write gram or maize in the blank spaces in the figure after matching the roots with the figures. In what way are the roots of gram and maize similar? In what way are they different? There seem to be 2 different types of roots, is not it? Are there also other types of roots? Let us find out. Activity 9. Go to an open ground where many wild plants are growing. Dig out a few, wash the soil of the roots and observe them. Do you find that all of them have either the kind of roots shown in figure A or as in figure B? Figure A, taproot and B, fibrous root. For roots of the kind shown in figure A, the main root is called taproot and the smaller roots are called lateral roots. Plants with roots as shown in figure B do not have a main root. All roots seem similar and these are called fibrous roots. Separate the plants you have collected into 2 groups. In group A, put those that have taproots and in group those that have fibrous root. Look at the leaves of the plants in group A. What kind of venation do they have? What kind of venation do you see for plants of group B? Do you notice that leaf venation and the types of roots in a plant are related in? Bojo has a brilliant idea. If he wants to know what kinds of roots a plant has, he need not pull it out. He just has to look at its leaves. A very interesting way. In table 7.2, Can you match the type of leaf venation and the type of roots for some plants you have studied in all the activities so far? Table. Types of roots and types of leaf venation. Name of plant, type of leaf venation, type of roots. Do this and comment this. We have learned that roots absorb water and mineral from the soil and the stem conduct this to leaves and other parts of the plant. The leaves prepare food. The food travels through the stem and is stored in different parts of plant. We eat some of these as roots like carrot, radish, sweet potato, turnip and tapioca. We also eat many other parts of a plant where food is stored. Do you agree that stem is like a street with two-way traffic? Figure. Write the name of material that goes up in the stem and that which comes down. Figure. The stem has two-way traffic street. In the next section, we will study about the structure of a flower. 7.5 Flower. You are shown three branches of a rose in figure A, B and C. Which one will help you best to recognize the plant? A, B, C. Figure. Rose. A leafless branch. B. A branch with leaves. C. A branch with leaves and flowers. Which color did you use for the flower in figure C? Are all flowers colorful? Have you ever seen flowers on grass, wheat, maize, mango or guava? Are those brightly colored? Let us study a few flowers. When choosing flowers to study, avoid using marigold, chrysanthemum or sunflower. You will learn in higher classes that they are not single flowers but groups of flowers. Activity 10. We would require one bud and two fresh flowers each of any of the following: datura, China rose, mustard, brinjal, ladyfinger, gulmohur, also blade, a glass slide or a sheet of paper, a magnifying glass and water. Observe figure. Carefully look at the prominent parts of the open flower. These are the petals. Different flowers have petals of different colors. Where do you think the petals are in a closed bud? Which is the most prominent part in a bud? Did you see that this part is made of small leaf-like structure? They, petals, sepals, figure, bud and flowers, are called sepals. Take a flower and observe its petals and sepals. Now answer the following questions. How many sepals does it have? Are they joined together? What are the colors of the petals and the sepals? How many petals does the flower have? Are they joined to one another or are they separate? Do the flowers with joined sepals have petals that are separate or are they also joined together? Fill the table based on the observations of the whole class table. Add observations to this table from a field trip to a locality where there are plants with flowers. Fill the last two columns later. To see the inner parts of the flower clearly, you have to cut it open if its petals are joined. For example, in datura and other bell-shaped flowers, the petals have to be cut lengthwise and spread. Table. Observation on flowers. Name of flower or plant. Number and color of sepals. Number and color of petals. Are the sepals joined or separate? Are the petals joined or separate? Stamens, are they free or joined to petal? Pistil, present or absent? Rose, many color, 5 color, separate, free, present. Do this and comment this. out so that the inner parts can be seen clearly. Figure. Remove the sepals and petals to see the other parts. Study the figure carefully. Compare your flower with the illustration and identify the stamens and pistils in your flower. Look at the figure carefully. It shows different kinds of stamens present in different flowers. Can you recognize the two parts of stamens in your flower? How many stamens are there in your flower? Draw one stamen and label its parts. Figure a bell-shaped flower. Figure parts of a flower. Stamens cream color, anthers yellow color, pistil green color. Anther filament. Figure parts of a stamen. The innermost part of flower is called the pistil. If you cannot see it completely, remove the remaining stamen. Identify the parts of the pistil with the help of figure. Draw a neat labeled diagram of the pistil of your flower. Parts of a pistil: stigma, style, and ovary. Activity 11. Do this. Let us now study the structure of ovary. Figure. It is the lowermost and solent part of the pistil. We will card this part to study what is inside. Look at figure A and B carefully to understand how to card the ovary of a flower. Figure. Cutting an ovary, A longitudinal cut and B transverse cut. Cut the ovary in two different ways as shown in figure. To prevent them from drying, put a drop of water on each of the two pieces of the ovary you have cut. Figure inner structure of an ovary, A longitudinal cut, B transverse cut. Ovules. Observe the inner parts of the ovary using a lens. Figure. Do you see some small bead-like structure inside the ovary? They are called ovules. Draw and label the inner parts of the ovary in your notebook. Try to find out the names of as many flowers as you can by asking the gardener or any other person. Remember not to pluck more flowers than you need. Based on what you have filled in table, answer the following questions. Do all flowers have sepals, petals, stamens, and pistils? Are there flowers that do not have one or more of these? Are there flowers which have parts other than this? Did you find any flower which has no difference between sepals and petals? Did you find any flower in which the number of stamens is different from the numbers of petals? Do you now agree that the structure of the flower is not always the same? The number of sepals, petals, stamens, and pistils may also be different in different flowers. Some of these parts may even be absent at times. We have studied some features and functions of leaves, stems, and roots. We studied the structure of different flowers. We will learn about the function of flowers in higher classes. We will also learn about fruits in higher classes. Keywords: climbers, conduct, creepers, fibrous roots, herbs, laminum, lateral roots, midrib, ovule, parallel venation, petal, petiole, photosynthesis, pistil, reticulate venation, sepal, shrubs, stamen, taproot, transpiration, trees, veins. Summary: plants are usually grouped into herbs, shrubs, and trees based on their height, nature of stem, and branches. The stem bears leaves, flowers, and fruits. Leaf usually has a petiole and laminum. The pattern of veins on the leaf is called venation. It can be reticulate or parallel. Leaves give out water vapor through the process of transpiration. Green leaves make their food by the process of photosynthesis using carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight. Roots absorb water and minerals from the soil. They also anchor the plant firmly in the soil. Roots are mainly of two types, taproot and fibrous root. Plants having leaves with reticulate venation have taproots, while plants having leaves with parallel venation have fibrous roots. The stem conducts water from roots to the leaves and other parts, and food from leaves to other parts of the plant. The parts of a flower are sepals, petals, stamens, and pistil. Exercises. Do this and comment this. Suggested project and activities. 1. Become a leaf expert. Do this activity with a number of leaves over a period of few weeks. For every leaf that you wish to study, pluck it and wrap it in a wet cloth and take it home. Now place the leaf between the folds of a newspaper and place a heavy book on it. You can also put it under your mattress or a trunk. Take out the leaf after a week. Paste it on a paper and write a poem or story about it. With your leaf collection pasted in a book, you can become an expert about leaves. 2. Names of plant parts are hidden in this grid. Search them by going up, down, diagonally, forward or backward. Have fun. Do this and comment this.